Good morning. Good morning. I hope you are doing well this morning. It's another day that we get a chance to be alive. And so it's a day to be grateful. And today I want to talk about something that came up on yesterday's coaching call with Coach Kevin Crenshaw. I swear, you guys, this guy is like a freaking Jedi master. I swear. He's done so much work on himself, and he's got these codes that he just shares, and this way that he shares, and he embodies these things that he's sharing. And I'm just really so grateful to have the level of coaching that I have in my life with the Artist Power Collective, Coach Kevin, Coach Scott, Coach Emily, Coach Elise, Coach Casey, Garen Jones. Like, I literally have a freaking all-star team of some of the best coaches in the world that I've ever met. And I get access to these people on a weekly basis, 5 times a week, and a community, the most supportive community I've ever been a part of. Like, I just can't believe that this is my life. You know, the caliber of people, you know, former NFL stars. I mean, there's going to be some famous actors, like, and it's not about their titles, but these people are going and doing big things in the world, and they're very high caliber people. And I was just sharing today that, you know, how impressed I was on the Divine Kings Council this morning. I was sharing like how impressive everyone is in the group. And I realized, like, you know, when you hear some of the accolades and the things that some of these people are doing, you're like, oh shit, like, and they're my friend. And I immediately realized, like, yo, you're in the company of the caliber of person that you are, right? You've done some things to be in this group, in this peer group of people. And so, you know, celebrate yourself for those things. I did that today. Jimmy Carter, Coach Jimmy Carter, he's in the Divine Kings Council, and he led today, and he gave us a prompt for journaling, and we got to write out the accomplishments of our life, the things that we've done, the bragging, like brag about all the things that you've done and accomplished in your life, because we don't often celebrate ourselves. And I got a pretty impressive list. You know, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I'm not going to get into all of it here. I've shared some of those things, but what I really wanted to get into was intuition, yesterday's call. And yesterday's call was about taking your intuition to the next level. And this was one subject, as soon as they announced it, my back straightened up, my shoulders went back, I got my notebook, I was like, yes, I want to learn more about my intuition, because I've had a super powerful intuition my entire life, but I've also second-guessed it and questioned it most of my life. And every time that I've second-guessed it or questioned it, things turned out not so great for me. But in reality, those things turned out perfectly, as they should have, because it's brought me here. It's taught me what I needed to learn. It's given me the ability to learn to trust myself. And so I just want to get into what Coach Kevin was sharing yesterday about taking your intuition to the next level. And he said a few things. He said it's about the magic of life unfolds through you, right? And it unfolds through listening to your intuition. And there's 3 key parts to tapping in and taking that intuition to the next level. And those 3 parts are presence. Number 1, being present and quiet and very in your body and not in your head. Be very present to the moment, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, just presence, being present in that moment. And the second piece was discernment. How can you tell it's intuition, or if it's fear, or if it's some other voice? How do you know that it's your intuition? And so that requires discernment. And he gave us a few tools and some ways of learning that. And that was a big question for me. Like, how do I discern the difference? And then the last part was having the courage to follow your intuition. And oftentimes, you know, your intuition is going to ask you to do something that's slightly or a lot uncomfortable and preemptive, maybe, right? Maybe you have this little inkling about this person in your life and you need to remove them from your life, and you don't have any concrete evidence or reason, but you have this nudge. Maybe it might be uncomfortable to step away from this person. Or maybe you might have this nudge to go talk to this person that you're scared to talk to, right? Intuition requires that you have the courage to follow it. And so the first part about presence, he was talking about how, your body has to be in the right state to be present. If you're super stressed, super triggered, if you're really, really tired or just in not a great state in your body, then you can only have so much presence. We're human beings, right? And so it's really important to give yourself the spaciousness and the time to be present at the right moment for what your body is feeling. And the best way to do this is to use somatics, right? To bring yourself back into your body. And he did this really simple exercise with us where we, closed our eyes. We took a deep breath. And we felt and we focused on the different sensations of our body. So he'd ask us questions like, can you feel the bottom of your feet? Can you tap into that feeling? What does your bottom of your feet feel like? Can you feel your hands without moving them? Can you feel your face? Can you feel the tip of your nose? Can you put your focus there? Can you feel your shoulders? Can you feel your legs? Can you feel your knees? Like just putting yourself into the sensations, really tapping into the sensations that you can feel in your body. And after doing that for a few seconds, you really become very present. You start to really focus on what's going on inside of you. And, as I'm speaking this, my eyes are closed and I'm talking about it. That little exercise really helped me to get present and to be present. And so that's one thing you can do, right? And in that, once you have reached that presence, that moment, that space of being in your body, not in your head, in the sensations that you feel in your body, not in your emotions, what's physically present. And in that presence, you can get quiet enough to listen for your intuition, to listen to a yes or a no. And I'm going to get into another exercise in a moment that he showed us. How do we train and how do we learn to listen? How do we discern and figure out the difference between our yes and our no? And so when it comes to discerning, right, the difference between you have two major voices. You're going to have your intuition and you have your fear. And, that fear voice is usually really loud. It's jarring. It's urgent. Like right now, you got to do this. Sometimes it comes with a should. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing that. And Kevin said something that made me jump out of my seat, literally. I literally jumped out of my seat and I was like, shit. He said, what did he say? He said, if there's a should, there's a shame, right? Where there's a should, there's a shame. And I was like, damn. I literally, in the middle of the call, people were laughing at me. I jumped up and I was like, shit, because I realized man, there's so many things that I say I should do. Oh, I should be further. I should be further along, or I should have done this, or I shouldn't have done that. And all of those things are attached to shame. And if I can get curious and tap into and think about what that shame is and why, I can get to the bottom of that. But shame, is not the voice of intuition. So your should, if there's a shame attached normally, that's not intuition. That's fear. That's shame, right? And your intuition is going to be, it's probably going to involve something that makes you uncomfortable, discomfort. But it's going to be a loving sort of invitation, right? It's going to be loving, calm, quiet, subtle, like a cloud is what Kevin described it as. whereas the shame and the fear may be critical, right? It's a very loud voice, and especially if you are, if your cup is full of like murky water, you haven't, worked out or moved your body or done the things that you do to clean your vessel and fill your cup. If your cup is full of murky water, then chances are that it's going to be really a lot harder to listen to your intuition, and you're going to have more fear and shame. And so remembering to be in the right state of presence and having, a full cup, a clear cup of clear water at least, before you try to really are able to really listen to your intuition. And, I asked again, even though he went through this, I asked, how do you tell? How can you tell the difference? And it really comes down to being more embodied and following your curiosity, right? Will help you to follow your intuition, right? If you just follow your curiosity, like go walk in the woods and wander around and just go where you are led to go, right? Doing that kind of thing, or following the things that you're curious about. I wonder how this works, or I wonder about that, or what if, what is this about? You follow those things. The more you follow those things, and the more you embody that, the easier it becomes to follow your intuition. And he gave us this tool about learning your yes and learning your no. And this is something I'm going to practice a lot more, because I want to get really good at this. And so he said, think about somebody or someone in your life. Somebody or someone is the same thing. Something or someone that is makes you so full and happy. That is a full yes for you, right? If you close your eyes and you imagine this full yes. And for me, there's several things that are that way for me. Being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset. But the one that I used that really helped me to tap in was my daughters, my two little girls. Just imagining their faces and their smiles and the way that they look at me and the way that they say, "I love you, Daddy," the way that they hug me. And if I close my eyes and I imagine them and I tap into where in my body do I feel it? What do I feel too? What is the sensation that I feel, and where do I feel it? And, imagining my little girls, their beautiful smiles and their laughter and the facial expressions and just how sweet and loving they are. I feel it in my chest. I feel it in where my heart would be, right? I feel this I don't know how to explain it. It's not like a pressure, but it's I guess it is like a holding, I can't even describe the word. It's a feeling that I feel in my chest where my heart would be, where my ribs are there, where the opening or the sternum is, and my heart and my chest on the left side, sometimes on the right side. But it's a very clear, it's a faint, but it's very clear that it's there, right? And so that is my yes. And then he said, okay, shake your body out, move around. We shook around a little bit, moved around. He's like, all right, close your eyes again. And now imagine a person, situation, or something that is a full no. And I like to say a full fuck no, right? Something that's just not, it's just an absolutely not. No, fuck that. Think about that, imagine that, and it may feel uncomfortable, but also do the same thing. Where do you feel it in your body? What does it feel like? And just really sit with that and tap into that. That one was a little harder for me to get to, but I was able to get to it. And where I felt mine, and everybody who was on the call felt different things in different places. Everybody, people were sharing what they were feeling. But for me, it was in my stomach. I felt this pressure, this just feeling in my stomach, in my gut area, right? And so that was my no. And I was like, damn, this is nuanced. This is really powerful. But if I keep practicing this, I can get present and do this exercise to like train myself for how to listen to my intuition. And so I wanted to share this because it was really, really powerful for me. And I know, we talked about it in the Divine King's Council this morning, that for men especially, right, women are, a lot more in tune with their intuition. It's like more natural for them, more, it's more easily accessed because that's just how they are. But for men, we're not trained or taught about intuition. We're actually in ways taught to not follow our intuition, right? It's like, don't listen to how you feel. Don't, your feelings, you're not, there's just so much ingrained messaging around intuition in men. And so I think it's really, really important for men to learn this skill of how to take your intuition to the next level. How do you know what to do next? How do you know which path to go? And really the wisdom is within you. And it comes with taking that intuition to a new level. And so I really thought it was really important to share this and to give you guys some of the tools that I've been learning, because what is the value of what I'm learning if I'm not able to, number one, practice it, but also share it with the world, right? I shared my vision yesterday with you guys. I want to impact millions who go on to impact billions by elevating perspectives and awakening the hero inside, right? That is my big picture vision, and I'm gonna have to follow my intuition to get there, but I'm also gonna have to share what I'm learning and share it on bigger and bigger platforms with more and more people. And so I've been thinking about what I'm gonna do with this podcast, how I'm gonna get it out there, all of these things, right? And so that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope you have a magnificent day today. Blessings and big love. Peace.